Zidane Daney, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow host,
I'm Jack.
and today we are going to be talking about Minecraft. So Minecraft Legends came out this week. I don't know. So you haven't played it yet. You said, right? Have
Nope.
you? How much of the information have you seen about it?
None.
Absolutely none. Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Um. So I think it's real. So I've played a little bit of the game. It is a bit. So it's kind of a weird situation because it's a real time strategy game, basically. Have you played any RTSs before? Okay.
No. Not that I know
Okay.
of.
Not too surprising,
Give me some
huh?
examples. What's there some examples?
So, well, I think that League of Legends might be. Uh, but I don't know what exactly constitutes an RTS. Um, but here if we look it up, Age of Empires, Northgard, Starcraft.
Oh, I played Age of
Okay,
Empires.
so that's basically what it is. Because I think there's like some things that are specifically like um, it's kind of hard to say exactly what can be considered an RTS versus just anything else. But you can, but I think like um, Lego Battles technically could classify as an RTS, which I think you mentioned once that you played that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that counts as an RTS. Basically, what you do is you run around the world map and you get allies, you build things, you gather resources, and you fight off against the hordes of monsters that are all over the world. So for Minecraft Legends, you're fighting piglins that are invading the overworld, and you have to get like a whole bunch of allies to assist you. Um, I've played a little bit. Most of what I've played at this point in time is on my YouTube, is here on the channel, um, because I've shown like I did my first playthrough here on here on the channel. I have played a little bit more since then just to see if I could figure some things out. Um, Other things are a pain in the backside, but the game as a whole, the game is fun and it is a well made game. Um, so that's basically the big thing is like uh, that I want to talk about though is that there's a lot of new mobs that got introduced into this game. Like there's several different types of golems that pretty much all four of the main golems that you get at the near the beginning of the game are completely brand new golems. I don't even know if iron golems ever show up, but you have like this this wooden golem that shoots arrows. You get stone golems, mossy golems, and I think reinforced golems or something. I don't remember what it is, but yeah, there's a whole and there's a few others, but basically they're just a bunch of different golems that you never got to that we've never seen in the base game, and it kind of got when I started seeing this game, I started to think, you know, what if Minecraft added like all of the mobs from all of the different side games because there's a lot of mobs that they have created from all of these different side games that would be really interesting to see in the base game.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
like
true.
there's a just for the Minecraft Legends example, uh, there are tons of extra types of piglins, which would be really interesting to see how those play out. Um, Allays are very different from what we currently think of, but they're blue ones are still basically the same as what we have in normal Minecraft, where they go and collect things. But then there's the yellow allays, which can build stuff for you. Which personally I would love to see something where we get to maybe it's not like a perfect situation with it, but maybe they could create something with the allays, and that would basically be how you could maybe transfer builds over between worlds. Because one thing that I know a lot of people kind of struggle with is they can design something really easily in creative, but then when it's time to actually build it, it becomes a bigger pain in the backside. Especially even if it is creative to creative world, sometimes you're not necessarily going to have every single thing that you're going to be able to move over. Like for my just for myself, I have like this huge world that I put like a whole bunch of different builds for my into. And sometimes I really want to transfer them over, and the only way to do that is like with world edit, or sometimes there are certain mods that you can do, but you can't really transfer structures or any builds that you have between worlds, which is weird because the structure block exists. So basically what I'm thinking that they could do at some point is either they could upgrade the structure block so that you could set something up so that this will be a structure that you can transfer between worlds or something, or they have the allays be that, and you can basically create it'll create a new file called orange allays or yellow allays, and you'll have like specific builds that you can set up, and then you can move those into different worlds. Maybe in survival, you put this allay box down, and the orange allay needs needs to have the materials in order to build the thing for you. But but if you collect certain things, it'll build the structure for you. Maybe it could just be some.
That'd be cool.
Exactly. Like maybe it could just be something. Maybe there would be some specific ones that they have set into the box from the get go, or maybe you gain them as you play through the game. A lot like what you do with Minecraft Legends, where there's like a whole bunch of town structures. Like you can get defense towers and construct something that will rebuild things for you. You have a way to create like a summoning platform for different mobs, and that's basically what the orange allays do in the game. But imagining that like as a full thing would be really interesting. Maybe that there's also like special blocks that they can create in order to place them down into the world. Like maybe there is a summon block, and while you can do while you will be able to get it in creative, maybe in survival, the only way that you're even able to see this block and will be to get an allay, to actually get an orange allay, and or maybe even it will be the way that you can create. You'll get mob spawners, because I know that a lot of people sometimes would like to be able to move a mob spawner to a different location to have a better option to for a grinder or whatever.
Yeah,
like I get that. Right now Minecraft is kind of in that situation where they're like, yeah, but we really want to make sure that this thing can do that and blah 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 blah. Like maybe certain blocks would absolutely be off limits. Like I think that maybe the amethyst, you won't be able to like transfer an amethyst across the to a different location in the world, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of things that would have to be dealt with in order to actually create that. But I think it would be really interesting if that was if there were lots of little things like that. Like obviously, if you set down that box in creative, it will automatically just build it however you want. But in survival, you would have to gather the materials, like I said, and certain materials would be a little bit more challenging. Maybe you need to do like certain you need to have like some huge amount of items. Like if you want to do like a creeper spawner for whatever reason, you'd have to have like tons of gunpowder, or I don't know. Something along those lines where you would probably have had a spawner beforehand that you used, or you had a mob farm beforehand, and this is just making it easier so you can actually have the creeper spawner. If you get basically what I'm getting at. There's a lot of things that could be going on with the Orangelays, and I'm not, like I said, I don't really know at this point. As for the piglins, I just want more piglin types. It would be absolutely hilarious to see like just more mobs in general, especially like so you haven't played Minecraft Dungeons at all, have you? Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know that there's like a ton of mobs in there that are like basically just different versions of especially the monsters. There's like a whole bunch of different versions of monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just like imagining all of that being available in the game. I don't know exactly how in the normal Minecraft game. I don't know exactly how they would handle that, but I think it could be a lot of fun to like have like a mob update where they just implement like all of these different creatures. Maybe some of them will not actually be introduced, such as there's like key golems and stuff, and other and the tower keepers. Like some of those just make no sense to actually bring them into the game. Same goes for some of the merchants. They don't really make that much sense to actually put into the game. But I think that some of them could absolutely be very, very interesting. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. It's a ways off before we would ever see any of these huge numbers of mobs popping up. But I think that my basic point is that I'm trying to get across with especially Minecraft Dungeons, Minecraft Earth, and Minecraft Legends is that they could take all of the mobs that they've had in these games and implement them in some way. And using Minecraft Earth as an example, there were like a ton of different versions of mobs in Minecraft Earth, like different types of pigs, different types of cows, different types of sheep. Imagining all of those different things being in base Minecraft would be really interesting, especially because it would give more variety to the world. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's like obviously there are certain things that it would take them a long time to actually implement a lot of these things. Like I said, like a lot of the stuff from Minecraft Earth, I think that would be fairly easy because a lot of that is just would be recoloring certain mobs. But yeah, I don't know. It's there's like a lot of different things that they could absolutely do with it, and then they just never did. I don't know. They, like I said, there's like a ton. Like I said, there's like a ton of random mobs. There's a whole bunch of chickens. There's a whole bunch of cows. There's a few extra golems, for crying out loud. And like I said, they don't necessarily have to add all of these different things. Maybe it could just be some random characters that random mobs that'll just pop up, like the chickens, the cows, the pigs, the rabbits, the sheep. I think that all of those would basically just be random things that'll spawn around the world. Maybe like the cluck shroom would only spawn in the Mushroom Isles. And I think that there might also be a pig or something that's in that section, but I don't know. But a lot of these mobs would be very, like I said, they would be interesting. I'm going a little bit on a tangent there. But yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of things that they had in these these unused mobs that they have like the files for, but they just since they never got implemented into their whether or not like Minecraft Earth, like all of the creatures are still the same. They would basically still be the same files. They would just need to be transferred over. and maybe like certain adjustments would need to be made to the things. But like I said, the pigs, the sheep, the cows, the chickens, the rabbits, all of those could literally just be switched into their new extra colors. Maybe some of them would have some extra features or whatever, but for the most part, they would just be instead of getting a normal chicken, sometimes you'll get these other chickens. Maybe you'll get an amber chicken or a bronze chicken or a fancy chicken. Maybe even a diamond chicken that lays diamonds. But that one's really rare or something like that. Um, we'll have to wait and see if they ever do that. Obviously, with Minecraft Dungeons and Legends, they would have to completely remake these models because they haven't, for the most part, because like all of the those models are a very different look, to be blatantly honest. So I doubt that they would actually like just directly transfer them over, while they could very easily do that for like I said, the Minecraft Earth or what was the other one I said? I don't know. But yeah. Oh, also Minecraft Education Edition. Like a lot of the things in that should just be implemented into base Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that have you seen? A
A
lot.
lot.
Well, you work as a teacher, right? To a certain degree. So
Yeah.
so obviously, so you probably have access to Minecraft Education, right? Okay.
Yep.
So that's something that really bugs me about that is that um, Minecraft Education Edition is has all these extra features that would be really interesting if they would allow them to be in Minecraft. And obviously, they are already coded into in I think Bedrock is the way that they created that. So transferring that over to Java Edition, while it could take a little bit of time, it's a much shorter amount of time than like the dungeons mobs or the legends mobs, because obviously those are a lot big. Those have a lot more extra features and stuff. But Education Edition, like they've made all of these things, and I think that what would be really interesting is maybe when you're creating maybe when you're creating a world, or maybe there's just a setting that you can have in your normal Minecraft game. You just click on that, and it will it'll turn it into Education Edition, and then you can or allow you to have the education blocks. Like you can choose whether or not you want those in there, because some of them I can understand like not wanting certain features in the base game. Because some of them are a bit complicated to say the least, but a lot of them are just like slightly better features, and most of them, in the way that they're created for the Education Edition, is that teachers have access to these things and they put them into the world so that kids can learn the different things with the elements and stuff. But if you're like playing survival and stuff, just having these in there where you would have to go out of your way really far in order to get certain things, I think that would be really interesting. I think that certain features like hardened glass and stuff like that should be a little bit easier to make.
Yeah.
Same goes for underwater TNT, the colored torches, underwater torches, the heat block. Some of those I think they should probably make them a little bit. There should be an easier way to do them. Basically, most of the blocks and most of the items, I think that those should have some easier way to make them. But the main way that you're going to be making them will be through the special education version of stuff. But I think even the special items that were meant to help make things, I think they don't have. I don't even think that they have crafting recipes to make these things. Like, yeah. So the compound creator, and looks like Yeah, that's only able to be made using commands, um, and that's pretty much what a lot of the different features are in Education Edition. You can't get them without commands. So add a crafting recipe for these, and then make it, and then add the game, and then I think that the game could be really interesting. It does, and another thing as well is that if Education Edition is the way that kids are getting into Minecraft, and then they actually go home and they want to get Minecraft, their parents' first thought is just to be getting normal Minecraft. They're not going to be going out of their way to get Education Edition, because let's be honest, it's kind of tricky to get Education Edition. So they're just going to buy them the normal version, and then they're gonna be like, what, where's the color torches, where are the NPCs, where are the agents, where are all of these different features that I really enjoyed about that game? And they'll start like looking through creative, like, where are all of these things? And eventually they're gonna find out that it's not there, and it's gonna disappoint them a little bit, and then they're not gonna want to play Minecraft anymore because they couldn't get all of the different Education Edition things. I don't know exactly if they're actually going to care that much, but I think that just adding these features into normal Minecraft is going to be really good for teachers, especially because it allows students to do a little bit of understanding on these things on their own. They can, yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm tracking. I've been tracking.
Do you have anything that you'd like to say about that? Because
Education Edition is really fun because you can do chemistry.
Exactly. And I think that there's a lot of really interesting things in that. Which, speaking of the chemistry stuff, like they have element blocks in that, and you get to use like several different elements that, especially some of the radioactive ones, you would never be able to use those in a classroom.
Correct.
So, learning about what they do in real life would be really interesting, especially if you can learn how to if you can learn how to do a lot of these different features, in a safe way through Minecraft. It might be real. It might help people to get more interested, and then they will actually go to learn more about these things in the real world. And like I said, there's a lot. A lot of these things are things that you would never be able to touch unless you are very. You are in a laboratory or something that is a really like one of the top-notch laboratories.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll also help. I think that there is some things that in Minecraft Education Edition where I think that they've done like certain things with extra mobs and stuff to teach kids about several like different environments and stuff. And that's not really something that you can that we get to see in the base game. Like I think they've implemented like a whole bunch of different mobs in Education Edition that unfortunately we're probably never gonna. We may see them at some point in Minecraft in the base game, but at this point in time, if they don't decide that, hey, we're gonna make Education Edition be compatible directly with your normal version of Minecraft, whether that be Java or Bedrock, who knows? We may never see it. But yeah. So yeah. So we should talk about Earth again, though. Minecraft Earth. So outside. So before this video began, we were talking a little bit about Earth, and I mentioned basically what happened with Earth, and I don't know how many people actually know this, but Minecraft Earth got ended because of COVID, which is kind of sad considering the fact that like just a few years before this, Pokemon Go was able to succeed, and and it looks like new games are going to succeed within this new genre of gaming, real world AR gaming. But unfortunately, Earth failed just because of the fact that COVID happened, and we'll never be able to see that. Um, it looks like they did try for a good while to keep it going. Looks like they were able to keep it going for about 2 years, but then because of like I said, all of the stuff with COVID and stuff, the game, since nobody was able to go outside, they couldn't keep doing the game because they weren't really making money off of it, and it just flopped, which is a bit sad. Because I think if that came out nowadays, if they re-released it at this point, I think it would have done a lot better.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of wish they would because it sounded like a fun idea.
Like there were certain features with Minecraft Earth that were clearly they had not fully thought this through. Like one of the things that you had to do was like you had to get this specific plate, and then you could actually like build stuff on it. Which for a phone game, not the best idea, all things considered. If you're going to get a phone game, I think the best option is just to make sure that everything can be done from your phone. So I think that if one thing that they should probably do if they do bring back the Minecraft Earth is instead of doing the build plates, they should make it be like a special world that you can like move around in on just directly on your phone, and you don't actually have to be pointing your camera all over the place. I think that they're like whatever they're doing to have you like go and gather stuff and with what they were doing before, I think that would be smart. Like basically what they had done with with Pokemon, where you were able to catch the Pokemon out in the real world and stuff like that. That would be reasonable to do. But at this point in time, I don't know exactly what they would do with Minecraft. But the build plate is not the option that they should be looking at. But yeah. Oh. You know what we should talk about?
What?
The unused, removed, joke, and unimplemented mobs for normal Minecraft.
I don't think I know about those.
So so first off, we'll just go over the unused mobs. So these there are basically several mobs that you can get through summoning. Except for the zombie horse, which you can get an egg for. But basically, they have no place in the base game. The most known ones are the Killer Bunny and the Illusioner because they actually have like they're fully coded. The only thing that they don't have a coding for is how they spawn, as well as they don't have a spawn egg. Basically, the Killer Bunny was specifically coded as basically a reference to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. With the whatever the rabbit was called that killed off like a whole bunch of knights.
Oh.
Yeah,
the
that
Bunny.
So that's basically what that thing is a reference to, and it's fucking hilarious. So I would love to have that be like a really rare summon that you could maybe find just randomly as you're playing through Minecraft. You like see a bunny and you're like, oh cool, I'm gonna go tame it, and then it attacks you out of nowhere and you're like, oh no, it's that thing. And then you have to run away. And I think that it would be really interesting if it's like the only when it spawns completely alone. So like normal bunnies, they spawn in groups, but this one thing spawns as a singular bunny, so you'll just be wandering the world. You might think, oh, it's just a regular bunny that just happens to be completely alone for some reason. Turns out, no, it's not. Or another option, which I think could also be funny, is if you bunnies could uh, mostly travel as a pack, but then if you kill the entire pack but one, that final one turns into the killer bunny as basically revenge or something.
Lord.
That could be funny. I don't know if they would actually do that, but that would be fun. Um, and then there's the Illusioner. Like I said, that one is also fully coded. It basically was meant to be an extra part of the Illager parties, but it would be, but it's a lot harder to deal with. It's a, I would say it's about the same level as maybe an Evoker, at least level of difficulty. Maybe a little bit more challenging actually, because of basically what it does is it deploys several versions of itself, and then it shoots at you and causes damage. So you don't really know which one is the actual one, and also it's none of them. It's an invisible. The one that is the actual one is an invisible one that's at the center of the group. So you basically have to be watching for the invisible icon. So it's kind of interesting. But I think it would have been really interesting because I believe that it still is affected by the glowing thingy, the glow effect. So even though it can turn invisible, if you hit it with like a spectral arrow before it deploys its extras, you can actually see where exactly it is, and then you can continue to fight it, which would have been even a good reason to actually have the spectral arrows, because there's really no point in them right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's it could be interesting. I think that maybe like one per raid party or something, at most. Or maybe it's just something that it gets an extra room in the Woodland Mansion. Like I said, I don't know. We'd have to wait and see if they ever do anything with that. The zombie horse is also technically fully coded, except for its spawning method. I think that they could do, the best thing that they could probably do with that is just have it be something where occasionally a zombie will spawn riding the zombie horse, and then you kill the zombie riding the horse, and then you can ride on that horse. I think that would be very simple, and I think a lot of people would enjoy it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like obviously they already technically do that with the skeleton horseman, except that it's a pretty rare spawn. So I think that they could maybe the zombie horse is like a slightly more common spawn than the skeleton horseman, because those have to be during a thunderstorm, I believe. So I don't know. Maybe the zombie horseman has like a slightly more maybe it's slightly more common, or I don't know. It's just it's rarer than a normal zombie, but more common than the skeleton horseman. But and also they should have different versions of them, because obviously there are several different types of zombies. There's the normal zombies, the drowned, the zombie villagers, the husks. If each one of them had a different type of zombie horse, I think that would be really fun. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the town should have like a zombie hippocampy.
That would be hilarious if they did that. But yeah, and then the only one that doesn't actually have code, well, in Java Edition I should say, is the giant, because basically it just stands there. You can just summon it by saying /summon giant, and it's basically just a zombie, but it's huge and it does nothing. I don't know why they never did anything with it, but I think that they should do something with it at some point. I don't know what though. So yeah, and then there's obviously the agent and the NPC, which are in the Education Edition. Those are mostly like coded stuff, which I would still love to see them actually be able to do something in the base game, but I think that's still a ways off. And then there's the and then there's the Elder Guardian Ghost, which has no point. Basically, from what I understand, it's basically just an Elder Guardian, but for whatever reason, it had some weird features with it. And it will like fly into the air or float down into the void, basically, depending on where you spawn it. And I have no idea what the point was, but they did it. um, so yeah. So then there's the removed mobs. So most of these, I don't expect them to ever show up. But there were like, in the current, basically in the way that the player's model, there were two mobs. There was the human and there was the pigman, and these would basically just wander around the world. And it was basically testing to see like, okay, what does this look like? I don't think that any of these people ever need to come back, but I think it would be interesting if there was like something within the world that still represented that these things had once existed. And then there's like the four really weird creatures. They had these weird models, and I'll send you the Wikipedia for Beast Boy, because that's the first one on the list. But basically, they all had this one model, and it looks nothing like what Minecraft looks like nowadays. But it was basically their first few testings of, hey, what is Minecraft gonna look like? So they did Beast Boy, Steve, Rana, and Black Steve, which is basically just Steve but inverted. Like, they legitimately just took so they have the two so there's the Steve model and the Black Steve model, and they basically just inverted the colors for Black Steve to make him Black Steve. Like, it's slightly different, but you get my point. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's weird. I don't expect them to ever show up, but I think it would be funny as heck if they if maybe there was just like some random image in the deep depths of Minecraft where you just find these guys as like pictures or something as a representation of the past.
Yeah, that'd be fair.
And then there's the joke mobs, which is kind of funny because like two of them are already things. Well, rather, one of them is a thing. So there's the diamond chicken, the horse, the love golem, Mars, which I have no idea what the fuck he is, the moon cow, the nerd creeper, the pink wither, the pony, ray tracing, the redstone bug, and the smiling creeper. And they're basically just random things that were during different Easter egg events. Basically, what I would like to see is like the diamond chicken maybe shows up at some point, and it's just like an extremely rare spawn, so rare that it's basically basically the only way that people would ever see it is if they specifically summon it. And instead of laying eggs, it'll lay diamonds. And then it's, like I said, it would be extremely rare. But some people might be able to get it at some point. Obviously the horse is currently in Minecraft, just obviously different because like at that time it was basically just a cow. And then they actually implemented horses. I think that ponies could basically just be smaller versions of horses. Maybe there's like some slight difference or whatever. Because those were basically just a retextured pig. But both of them, but yeah, we'll see if they ever happen. For now, I'm not really certain. As for the love golem and the pink wither, I think that those should be something that will rarely spawn instead of an iron golem or a pink or a regular wither. Basically, when you build an iron golem, you have a very low chance to to build instead of an iron golem, you get a love golem, and I think that would probably be a little bit higher of a chance than the pink wither, but basically if that happens, it wouldn't actually attack you, if you if you ever tried to fight it, and it would just be pink. I think maybe it drops iron still, but not necessarily important if it does. Same goes for the pink wither. It'll just be a friendly wither that will just randomly spawn. Like I said, very much rarer chance than getting the other thing. I think that the nerd creeper and the smiling creeper, I think they should just be like random creepers that will spawn every now and again. They don't have to be huge. Redstone bug, rare spawn when probably if you like fuck up with with redstone, like and causes a glitch or something, it has a like 1 in 10 chance of spawning a redstone bug. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not certain. I don't think we need to see ray tracing. He's just a Steve clone. And then I have no idea what Mars is. He's supposedly like something that. I think he was something that was with the 1 block at a time thing. But yeah.
You know, Zephram, sometimes adopting people is weird.
Why do you say that?
Because I just got a text from Ashley that just says, 2 birds at the pool, pretty sure having sex, lol.
What the What the fuck? That is so...
So I called her a perv.
That is weird. I mean, to be fair, I've seen worse.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. That's insane. But then the unimplemented mobs. I know, I just jumped back into Minecraft immediately after hearing all that. So most of the unimplemented mobs are from the votes. So there's the barnacle, the great hunger, the wildfire, the Chinese alligator, the golden monkey, the white-lipped deer, Bajin, the Moobloom, the Isolager, the Glare, the Copper Golem, the Rascal, and the Tough Golem. Basically, all of those were for mob votes that just have never seen the light of day. I do expect that we'll probably see most of the... so basically, Moobloom through Tough Golem, I expect us to see those at some point within the main game, but it might be a while. Because people... especially the Copper Golem, the Moobloom, the Isolager, the Rascal, and the Tough Golem. The Glare, I could see that being way later, but pretty much the rest of those, I could see those happening at some point, just being a little ways off. Because a lot of people are constantly wanting, like, we want these guys to come in! Same goes for the original mob vote, but they did say that they would never show up. Even though they are in Minecraft Dungeons at this point, I think. Or at least 2 of them are. Or they're going to be. I don't know what the deal is. I know Wildfire is currently in Minecraft Dungeons, and then I think that the Barnacle and the Great Hunger, they will show up at some point, but I don't know the exact details. So yeah. So I do want to see those guys because those are like really cool mobs that they had some really interesting designs for, but I have no idea at this point. As for the for Chinese voted things, I have no idea if we're ever going to see those. Because they're just like these random mobs. And I would love to see them because they're really interesting, but at the same time, China sucks. So I kind of doubt that we're going to see anything from the China stuff, the China vote for a while, just because of the fact that people are kind of starting to realize that China is a terrible place. So I don't know. We'll see if those ever happen. I think that if it does happen, it will probably be quite a few years from now. Probably everything else has a higher chance of popping in than those 4. even the Firefly and the Red Dragon have more of a chance of popping into Minecraft than the 4 Chinese voted things. But basically, the Firefly never got implemented because of the fact that they found out that Fireflies are poisonous to frogs, and they were like, "Oh shit, we shouldn't put those in there." I think that they still should put Fireflies, but maybe they don't get eaten by frogs, because Fireflies would be really cool. Really, any bugs would be really interesting just to add a bit more atmosphere to the world. And then the Red Dragon was just like never done, but apparently it was like a thing that Notch was at one point thinking of doing. Basically, he wanted to. Apparently, he wanted to add more dragons besides the Ender Dragon, but it just never happened. Like apparently the Red Dragon has basically been said that if it was to ever come into the game, it would have something to do with the Ender Dragon egg, and they just never did anything with it. I've always wanted to see. I've always wanted to see it. I know that a lot of other people want to see it, but at this point in time, it's just no guarantee. So yeah. So those are the so that's Minecraft.
All right, Minecraft it was. I heard all about it.
Oh, that was a bit of a rant. Basically, I want mobs. I want there to be a mob update to Minecraft that implements like firstly all of the lost mobs that we have yet to see. So like I said, the unused, the joke, the unimplemented, as well as mobs from the different versions of Minecraft that we have yet to see. So like the Minecraft Dungeons, the Minecraft Earth, Minecraft Education Edition, and so on and so forth. I imagine that will still probably be a ways away, but it would be fun to see them happen. But they've kind of been. It kind of has been feeling like they're hinting at a big overhaul to mobs at some point, because there are certain things that it feels like they really need to do more with, and we've yet to see them actually do certain things. So I do imagine that before too long, they're going to do a huge mob update. My guess is possibly as early as 1.21, I should say. But it's probably a bit longer than that. We'll just have to wait and see, because they've got, like I said, they've got a lot of mobs that they could just be like, you know what, we're gonna implement a ton of mobs all at once. Enjoy. But we'll see. But anyways, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. This has basically just been me ranting about Minecraft for like the past hour. But
yeah, I enjoyed listening.
But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja. He's been Jack, and we will see you guys in the next one. Probably. Bye.